It's Dan here from Newsflux. There is an old superstition, one far older than roads, towns, or even written memory, that says this: if a hare runs across your path on a Saturday morning, happiness is coming. Not the loud kind, not the kind you can plan for, but something gentler, something aligned, not a rabbit, a hare. The distinction matters. In folklore, the hare was never just an animal. Across Britain and much of Europe, it was seen as liminal, a creature that existed between worlds. Unlike rabbits, hares do not burrow. They appear suddenly, vanish just as quickly, and seem to belong to the open land rather than any fixed place. Because of this, hares were believed to move between moments, not just locations. To see one cross your path was never considered random, but why Saturday? In old belief systems, Saturday was not fully part of the working week, and not yet the day of rest. It was a threshold day, a pause. Early Saturday morning, especially at dawn, was thought to be a thin place in time. When the world had not quite settled into itself, sounds carried differently. Encounters felt sharper. Omens mattered. If a hare chose that moment to cross your path, tradition said it wasn't fleeing, it was passing through. What the omen promised. Unlike many animal omens that warned of danger, the hare was associated with renewal, emotional clarity, fortune that arrives quietly, joy without announcement. The happiness foretold wasn't immediate. It might arrive later that day or linger unnoticed until you realize something had shifted. A sense of calm, a memory resurfacing. Good news delivered casually. A day that simply went right. A creature that chooses you. One rule appears again and again in folklore accounts: you cannot chase the hare, you cannot summon it, you cannot look for it. The hare must cross your path on its own terms. To search for one was believed to cancel the meaning entirely. But why did we stop seeing them? By the modern age, beliefs like this faded, not because they were disproven, but because we stopped walking slowly enough to notice. Fewer early mornings, more noise, less space between moments. But occasionally someone still reports it, a hare darting across a quiet road at dawn. A strange pause, and a day that feels lighter. Believe it or not, skeptics will say coincidence. Believers will say timing. But perhaps the superstition was never about prediction, only awareness. Because if a hare crosses your path on a Saturday morning, tradition doesn't ask you to do anything at all, just to continue, with a quiet sense that something good has already begun.